So in doing my little research and everything over signature guarantee medallion stamp, special deposit. Forgive me, y'all. My sinuses then kicked up on me. I need to get my T action moving. My holistic people say I say what's up to you. But dealing with the FDIC and dealing with, we know that most accounts are that we use are in general deposit, you know, but we want to make these special deposits. And the best way to do these particular special deposits, in my opinion, is through the trust department of whatever financial institution that you're dealing with, right? But I want to just get specific. Um, when we start talking about article, when people that say, "Oh, the UCC ain't law," it don't have to be law, but the certain departments and agencies use the UCC and references it, right? Just like I was talking about the private accounts, I was talking about the registrar, right? You see it there, but the transfer agent acts on behalf of the security issuer and verifies that all the legal requirements for the transfer are satisfied. For the most part, the legal requirements governing securities transfers are contained in Article 8 of the UCC, Section 8-208 of the Code states. A person placing his signature upon a security as authenticating trustee, registrar, transfer agent, or the like warrants to the purchaser for value without the notice of the particular defect that the security is genuine. This is why we authenticate certain documents, like, yes, the birth certificate is a self-authenticated document, has a seal on it already, but we're not trying to double authenticate it, other than having the particular paperwork that says that it's an instrument. It's an instrument. When you authenticate the birth certificate from the state level in Texas, for sure, it says instrument, right? So the security is genuine, and his own participation in the issue of the security is within his capacity and within the scope of the authorization received by him from the issuer, and he has reasonable grounds to believe that the security is in the form and within the amount that the issuer is authorized to issue. But Chris, that still doesn't say what I think you think it's saying. Well, number one, they talk about here, go check it out. It's the appropriate person, right? The endorsement of a certified security in registered form is made when the appropriate person signs it or signs on it or on a separate document, maybe an allonge, an assignment or the transfer of the security or power to assign or transfer it, or his signature is written without more on the back of the security. Now we're talking about an endorsement. Section 8-308 of the UCC defines appropriate person. Appropriate person, right? But you can go read this on your own there, but I want you to focus here as well. I'm focusing at for uncertificated securities. Essentially, securities in book entry form, the appropriate person is the registered owner. If the security is not subject to a registered pledge, if subject to a registered pledge, the appropriate person is the registered pledgee. In addition, the following are defined as appropriate persons. If the person designated is described as a fiduciary, but is no longer serving in the described capacity, either that person or his successor. If the persons designated are described as more than one person as fiduciaries and one or more are no longer serving in the described capacity, the remaining fiduciary or fiduciaries, whether or not a successor has been appointed or qualified. If the person designated is an individual and is without capacity to act by virtue of death, incompetence, infancy, or otherwise, his executor, administrator, guardian, or like fiduciary. I'm not sitting up here to make this too long, but let's realize that they identify the UCC, go to Article 8 and read it. I believe in my contention that the birth certificate is uncertificated security. If you have your affidavit of beneficial interest in said certificate, uncertificated security, the bank note, because most, if not all, birth certificates are on bond paper. What I'm saying is once you get it on the level of the full faith and credit, and you get that bond paper back with the gold rivet on the upper left, it's identifying that it has full faith and credit, the seal for the issuer. The issuer is the birth state. You are the fiduciary, the executor or executrix. Once you get in position with the IRS, with the 28, 48, 56, then you can use the 56F properly. But going into trust and creating that trust, the appropriate person, the fiduciary, needs to put the endorsement on the back or other document with it, accompanying it, an allonge. Make those special deposits. Let's think about this differently. Not every bank is talking about putting you on debt. You see what I'm saying with this information? Not every retail branch has that office, you see what I'm saying, or that section where it deals with private wealth and trust. Again, this is the FDIC. So let's just keep in mind and understanding what the actual birth certificate is. It's an instrument. And the appropriate person, when in trust, can make special deposits. Let's think about that. Each one teach one.